For over 800 years, the Iberian Peninsula was shaped by one of the most remarkable civilizations of the medieval world, Al-Andalus, a land of towering palaces, groundbreaking discoveries, and an enduring legacy. Islamic kingdoms not only ruled much of the region, but also transformed it into a centre of learning, culture, and innovation. From the grandeur of the Alhambra to the scholarly achievements of Cordoba, the legacy of Al-Andalus continues to shape the identity of modern Spain and Portugal. This is the story of how Islamic presence in Iberia began, flourished, and ultimately came to an end. A story of conquest, coexistence, and cultural exchange that left an indelible mark on history. Long before the Islamic conquest, the Iberian Peninsula was a crossroads of civilizations, from the Phoenicians and Carthaginians to the Romans and Visigoths. Each left their mark on this vibrant land. By the 5th century, the Visigoths had established a Christian kingdom, but their rule was fragile, plagued by internal divisions, economic stagnation, and weak leadership. This instability set the stage for a dramatic transformation, one that would begin in 711 with the arrival of a new force from the south. In 711, a Berber general named Tariq ibn Ziyad led an army across the Strait of Gibraltar, landing at a rock that would later bear his name, Jabal Tariq, or Gibraltar. Though the Umayyad Caliphate in Damascus was expanding, the conquest of Iberia was primarily driven by North African forces under Tariq ibn Ziyad, who acted with limited initial support from the broader Umayyad state. Meanwhile, the Visigothic kingdom in Iberia was deeply divided. King Roderick had recently seized power, and many Visigothic nobles opposed his rule. Some even allied with the invading forces, seeing them as a way to settle old scores. At the Battle of Guadalete, Tariq's forces defeated King Roderick, and within a few years, most of the Iberian Peninsula fell under Islamic control. The Umayyad Caliphate established Al-Andalus as a province of its vast empire, stretching from the Middle East to North Africa. However, Al-Andalus was not just a distant outpost, it quickly became one of the most prosperous and culturally vibrant regions of the Islamic world. The Islamic rulers brought their new agricultural techniques, introduced crops like citrus and rice, and revitalised trade networks that had declined under the Visigoths. The 8th to 11th centuries were the Golden Age of Al-Andalus. Initially, the region was governed as a province under the Umayyad Caliphate, but in 756, a dramatic shift occurred. Abd al-Rahman I, a survivor of the Umayyad dynasty, fled to Iberia after his family was overthrown in Damascus. He established the Emirate of Cordoba, an independent state that no longer answered to the Abbasid Caliphate in Baghdad. Under his rule and that of his successors, Al-Andalus became a centre of learning, culture, and innovation. Cordoba, the capital, was one of the largest and most prosperous cities in the world. Its great mosque, with its iconic red and white arches, stood as a symbol of Islamic architectural brilliance. The city also boasted libraries containing hundreds of thousands of books, far surpassing anything in the rest of Europe. Scholars translated ancient Greek and Roman texts into Arabic, preserving and expanding upon the knowledge of antiquity. Advances in medicine, astronomy, mathematics, and philosophy flourished, influencing not only the Islamic world, but also medieval Europe. However, by the 11th century, the Caliphate of Cordoba began to fracture. Internal strife, economic pressures, and rivalries among the ruling elite led to its collapse in 1031. Al-Andalus fragmented into smaller states known as taifas, each ruled by local leaders. These taifa kingdoms often competed with one another, hiring Christian mercenaries and even paying tribute to northern Christian kingdoms to maintain their power. This political disunity made Al-Andalus vulnerable to external threats, allowing the northern Christian kingdoms to exploit these divisions. What followed was the long and gradual process of the Reconquista, or the Reconquest, which would ultimately reshape Iberia. The Reconquista was a centuries-long campaign by Christian kingdoms to reclaim Iberia. The strength of Al-Andalus during its golden age had delayed this process, but as the Taifa kingdoms weakened, Christian rulers in the north began to gain momentum. Key moments included the capture of Toledo in 1085, which gave the Christians access to advanced Islamic knowledge, and the decisive Battle of Las Navas de Tolosa in 1212, which marked a turning point in favour of the Christian kingdoms. By the late 15th century, only the Emirate of Granada remained under Islamic rule. In 1492, the Catholic monarchs Ferdinand and Isabella captured Granada, marking the end of Islamic political presence in Iberia. This same year, they issued the Alhambra Decree, expelling Jews from Spain, and sponsored Christopher Columbus's voyage to the Americas, events that would reshape the world. The fall of Granada wasn't just a military defeat, it was also the result of shifting alliances, economic pressures, and the growing power of a unified Christian Spain. After 1492, the Muslim and Jewish population faced harsh realities. Many were forced to convert to Christianity, while others were expelled. The Moriscos, Muslims who converted to Christianity, were eventually expelled in the early 17th century. Yet, the legacy of Al-Andalus endured. The Islamic influence on Iberian culture, architecture, and language remained deeply rooted. Even today, the echoes of Al-Andalus can be seen in the Alhambra's intricate designs, heard in the flamenco music of Andalusia, and felt in the shared history of a land that once bridged east and west. The story of Islamic Iberia is one of conquest, coexistence, and cultural exchange. It reminds us of the profound impact that diverse societies can have on history. From the heights of Cordoba's golden age to the fall of Granada, Al-Andalus remains a testament to the power of ideas and the enduring legacy of a shared past, one that still shapes the cultural fabric of Spain, Portugal, and beyond. I hope you enjoyed the video and learned something new. If I missed anything, or if you have more to add, please drop a comment below. And if you made it this far, please consider giving the video a like. It would really mean a lot. Thank you so much for watching.